Time to be doing that bullshit. On some good news.
That's right.
Tre Stewart program, BS with Brian Simpson, crossover. Y'all know what it is.
Yeah.
This is our way of having an episode and saving money. So, what's up, Tre? What do you do on your shit?
Pretty much, this is the second one, so you know, it's pretty strong, and just kind of like we tackle the real issues. You know, that's the point.
We definitely don't tackle the real issues on my podcast.
It's kind of the flip side
It's kind of the flip side of that, right? We just
BS with Brian Simpson.
because I'm so serious and everything else.
Yeah, man.
And so I like to just talk about bullshit on my shit. But I don't mind talking about real shit. I mean, real shit does come up. Right. That's the thing, nothing's really, everything's real now. Maybe that's our problem. Is it's getting harder and harder to be in a bubble.
Yeah, it is.
It's like we're since we're so connected as like globally, it's harder and harder for us to act like we don't know the effect we have on everyone else and the effect everyone else has on us.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we used to just be on some like ignorance is bliss shit, but once you know, you can't unknow.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
like
You're too connected.
Yeah, and I don't know what's going to stop me. I feel guilty every time I buy a new cell phone. But
why? Why do you feel guilty? Is it the child slavery part of it, or is it just the more?
Well, that's the least. You know,
that's what attracts me. That's the happiest part for me.
But it's like because I remember seeing, and I forget who the speaker was. Maybe you'll remember, Rob. But he was giving a speech one time, and he was talking about how there's no poor countries, only poor people. Right, because all the countries in the world you think of that are as poor, they all have gold, diamonds, platinum, cobalt, silver. All they're rich. The country's rich. The people are poor. Right. And why are the people poor in a rich country? It's like it's the same thing here. Why are people poor here? We're the richest country.
We are the richest country, but we have some of the worst shit. It's worth health care.
But it's like that everywhere. It's like where the money is. Or where the valuable things are doesn't determine whether the country's rich or poor. You know, it's like because it's a weird thing to say that it's a weird thing to say that Zimbabwe's a poor country.
So Michael Parenti is the guy.
Michael Parenti.
Yeah,
he so you should look up his speeches. I mean, I pretty much nailed it.
No, I think I got it. I don't even need the.
He's the guy. There are no underdeveloped countries, there are only overexploited countries.
Right.
That's him.
Actually, we can put the speech right here. Right?
But that expropriation of the third world has been going on for 400 years, brings us to another revelation, namely that the third world is not poor. You don't go to poor countries to make money. There are very few poor countries in this world. Most countries are rich. The Philippines are rich. Brazil is rich. Mexico is rich. Chile is rich. Only the people are poor. But there's billions to be made there, to be carved out and to be taken. There's been billions for 400 years. The capitalist European and North American powers have carved out and taken the timber, the flax, the hemp, the cocoa, the rum, the tin, the copper, the iron, the rubber, the bauxite, the slaves, and the cheap labor. They have taken out of these countries. These countries are not underdeveloped, they're overexploited.
It's the resources. The resources for sure.
Oh, you know what? I did not say it as good as him. That motherfucker was spitting.
Well, no, you can't. You know what? I like what you said better. Because, this guy, he sounded too smart.
It's billions.
The
way he said billions.
But no, I like you made it accessible.
But the point he made was just on point, where it was like, because how long is that speech? 10 minutes?
It's like 10 minutes.
But so
the resources of the what we view as poor countries make them inherently not poor.
Yeah, we've never invaded a poor country. No.
You invade it because we want their shit, or to start like a coup. And then so we can eventually
they call it American interests. We don't drop bombs nowhere that don't help us.
Mm-hmm. And we're always the good ones.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's always like we have to drop.
And we always have plausible deniability. We always have some moral reason. Morality is a shaky thing because it's always used to justify. It's like remember they were like Gaddafi is. He's a terrorist now, even though we supported him the last. We don't want to put him in power. Now he's a terrorist, and it just so happened to be around the time that he was trying to get off the American dollar as he was trying to make a bond with a few other countries that they were going to use some other currency. Of course,
and that's when he became a terrorist.
He was a terrorist.
When you go against our interests.
Same thing with Saddam Hussein. Didn't we help put him in power?
Yes, we did.
Absolutely.
Same thing with the Taliban. Didn't we help? Didn't we give them weapons
Shout out to the Taliban.
Fight? No, but we initially gave them weapons so we could fight a proxy war with Russia.
Yes.
That's why at the end of that Rambo movie, it's like this movie is dedicated to the brave fighters of the Mujahideen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because the Mujahideen were fighting their war against the Russians at the time. The Soviets.
Yeah, so that's that, and you become a terrorist until you win. Until you win, and then or when you win and you want to do your own shit, then that's when we're like, all right. Now it's funny, like we'll prop somebody up, they get in power, and then they stop fucking with us, and we'll prop somebody else up. We just keep.
Napoleon was a terrorist until he won.
Yeah,
and then he was a terrorist again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, that's the thing though. It's like this stuff because we do this shit all the time, and then Putin, the whole thing with Ukraine. You know what's going on?
I'm not all the way up on it. I see the general. I have a general idea.
You get it. Generally, it's what do you think? Because I know how I feel.
How do I feel?
Yeah, about the whole thing. I
don't have feelings about it. The way I see it is like I served. And so I was already part of some conflict that I didn't fully believe in, and so I'm just over giving a fuck. I know that the truth about it all ain't gonna come to the surface until everybody that needs to pay a price is dead.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, absolutely.
It's one of them things where it's like, I know it's some shady shit. I know they're not telling us what it really is. Because again, there is some reason we give a fuck about Ukraine, and it ain't moral. It ain't like, we can't allow this to stand.
Yeah.
It's like we literally fund dictators and fund coups and stuff. So there is some other reason why we don't want him to invade Ukraine.
Right, and there's something, and I think it's because it will enhance his power. So the reason is that we have to they're literally like a prop. We're propping up. Just same thing we were saying. They're propping Ukraine up so we can take Russia down, because if he was to get hold of Ukraine, that would he would just be expanding and increasing.
And then Putin is saying, well, y'all do that.
And we do. We do. So let my man Putin live. That's what I'm saying. Like let him live.
So you're on the Putin side.
I'm on the Putin. Not enough people are coming out in defense of Putin.
I don't fuck with that.
I don't see enough niggas in Russia for me to get fully behind Putin.
Listen, man, y'all gonna get up off my boy Putin's back.
I know Russia fucked with us during the Cold War, during the Black Power movement. They fucked with black people. We would go over there and all this, and there are black Russians. But they're not in none of the art. They're not in none of the pictures. They're not in none of the photo ops. Ain't none of them in this government. So Putin gonna have to show me something. Where are your black people at, Putin?
Well, I don't think there are any. It's if race is what you're basing it on, then you probably won't want to fuck with Putin at all. But I mean,
he's not just racist, but also homophobic, like severely so.
Yeah, but who is? I mean, so Joe Biden.
Who isn't?
Yeah, Joe Biden. Well, Joe Biden.
Yeah, Joe Biden's homophobic.
Come on,
and racist. Not openly though.
No. But
he ain't passing laws.
Right. Well, listen, man. I think it's easy for us to judge because that's our culture. But their culture is like as a whole. Like they also believe in witchcraft heavily.
Oh yeah. Look, judgment is a strong word. I'm not saying I'm not judging. I'm just saying I'm not supporting. I ain't getting behind him. Because I don't want him to get more powerful. I wish there was a different person in charge of Russia.
Well, yeah, I think he's not such a bad guy. He seems like just a guy.
I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say sovereign nations should not be militarily invading other sovereign nations.
That's
including
definitely
our
a
own.
stance.
Including our own.
Well, see, that's my point. It's like, all right, so we believe that, but we are the world superpower, so it's like only we can prop up.
That's true because
a terrorist nation.
What is a sovereign nation? A sovereign nation is a nation that we recognize.
And we can recognize all day. It's a game. It's all make believe. That's why Putin,
I'm saying, because we're the most powerful country,
right.
You're not a sovereign nation unless we allow.
Right.
That's just the reality of it. Right. It's like if the United States is like, you're not a country, then you're fucking not.
But we also can create countries where there weren't, so we can pull. It's what Putin is doing right now. He's creating. He's acknowledging that.
Well, he's trying to get back what Russia was.
Yeah. Right. So he's trying to take it back. He's just reclaiming.
Yeah, but he's,
But I mean, I think it's done. Yeah, it's like you can't really. Ukraine isn't the president. Wasn't he a comedian? Right? Am I thinking
he was
that?
actually.
Yeah,
yeah.
My man was that.
I should look up his name.
Ukrainian Bernie Frank. He was just out there ruling.
He was, and let me tell you this. I watched his show because he was a star. It's crazy. He played the president in a TV show and then became president. And that, my man killed life. He killed life, bro.
But now he's losing his country to Russia. Yeah.
Now he's losing it to possibly.
I mean, we elected a reality TV star. So is it that crazy?
Well, it's not even what happened over there is way more on the nose. Trump was a reality TV star. My nigga played the president.
So
and then became the president.
Are you saying you're for Putin invading Ukraine?
No, I think they should. I think they can work it out. I'm just saying Putin gets a bad rep.
What out? They didn't have a conflict before the conflict is that he's trying to invade.
So this is how I see it. So he is trying to invade, but we think of it from Putin's point of view because nobody does. Just let's step outside of Brian Simpson.
Perspective. Okay.
Yeah, and step into Putin for a second. And you looking at Ukraine. It used to be think of it like a bitch, right? Like the one that got away. That's Ukraine to Putin. Every morning he's waking up.
Yeah, but what about the rest of Eastern Europe?
He's just trying to get it all back. He's a comeback story. Who doesn't like a comeback story?
Militarily, he not fucking with us.
No.
And he ain't fucking with China.
No. So that's what I'm saying. It's like I like an underdog.
The two most powerful countries in the world are like, all is fine as long as it's theater. But if you run up in there, you running up on the wrong ones. We will wipe Russia the fuck off.
Well, I like a good underdog.
I mean, we'll mop the floor with their military. No doubt
for sure. Putin's trying to build back better, but for his country, he's building back.
So, isn't NATO's whole mission to prevent war? If I'm keeping it a buck, morally speaking, I don't want war to happen. But emotionally, I
agree.
I don't give a shit what happens to anybody that's more than 1,000 miles away from me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's
hard to care.
To me,
when it's not in your face.
Ukraine is a TV show. Because here's the other thing.
Zelensky. I'm sorry, Zelensky.
I know that Putin knows.
Can we pull some of his stand-up up?
He knows that he can't.
Sure.
He knows that he can't win this war.
I mean, it's going to be in Russian.
So
that might be even funnier.
So he knows he can't win the war. So he is also doing this for some other reason.
Well,
he knows that he ain't gonna be able to simply take Ukraine.
I mean, does he?
Bruh, listen. If we send troops to the other side of the border, he gonna back the fuck up out of there.
Biden ain't gonna do nothing, man. Biden doesn't even know this is happening. He's a puppet.
Well, listen, but I think
other people are gonna be making that.
But listen, here's
the actual decisions.
Here's the thing.
But Trump, by the way, nothing. Trump. Wait a minute, because nothing happened under Trump. So people say that Trump was like actually working with Putin, but under Trump, who was a lunatic, Russia didn't do anything. He didn't invade anywhere. I think that's true.
I would have to. I don't know.
I think that is true. I'm pretty sure.
But
I'm pretty sure. I've been right.
Here's my problem with that stance.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You'll find oftentimes the people swinging their dick around, clamoring for war, don't know shit about war.
Right.
Right. Where it's like that shit. Yeah. That shit is like it's only dope in the very beginning when everybody's like rah rah. Like you ever watch a battle, like a realistic battle on TV, and you see the people, and in the beginning the king's giving a fucking dope speech, and he raises his sword and glory, and that's the dopest part. Yeah. But then it always ends with the crows and dead bodies everywhere, and the smell, and everyone's dead or wounded or injured. It's like no one ever thinks about what it costs. They only think about the glory.
It's like fucking a stripper, like in the beginning.
Raw.
Yeah, stripping. That's what I mean. Fucking a raw. It's like it feels good, but then the next morning you're like, damn.
What have I done? Right. I don't know if it's a good analogy.
Trump's everyone can see he's like not, just to your point about why Biden is better. It's like, so even Putin could see that.
Well, no, but I think it's a little disingenuous to say that he did nothing during Trump.
He didn't invade. What he's doing right now did not happen under Trump.
That's true, but everything before the invasion happened.
Like what?
military
him
buildup
moving
on
the troops, him him threatening to invade and moving the troops. I mean, he just invaded now, but he still did all the other shit before that.
Did he put troops under the at the border under Trump? Did he do anything under Trump? Did. Okay, cool. Yeah, but he didn't invade. So he was always. So you're right. He did that with it. But it's interesting that he chose. Maybe it's a coincidence, dog. I don't know that he decided to actually move where we had a guy who's literally at sleep.
I just mean I think what you're implying is that he was afraid of Trump.
I don't know. Afraid. I think he's just maybe afraid is the wrong word. He was aware. Can we all agree that maybe Putin is smart enough?
Maybe he was aware, but I don't know if that's because if that's the case, why did he do anything?
What do you mean?
Because he didn't do nothing.
No. I think he was. Clearly, he's always been kind of like edging when it comes to war. Like, you know what edging is? Like not coming really.
Yeah, we all know what edging is.
I was just both for the fans at home.
We're adults,
you know. Well, you know, this kids. I got like a lot of kids.
Trey, why don't you explain what edging is?
Yeah,
so for the kids at home, edging. What do I look?
I like how he adjusts his Malcolm X glasses as he.
Yeah. Well, kids,
edging is. You know how you like.
Edging is not something you're going to be able to do until you're 25.
Think of it how you know when you're watching. You know when you're watching Blue's Clues and you don't, and then they don't find the clue. That never happened. They always found it, but. No, you're right. That's I'm not saying maybe it's I'll give you a point. Maybe I'm being a little jumping the gun by saying Putin. The sole reason was that Trump was a lunatic, but I mean Trump was fucking crazy, and so I think it's weird. It's kind of funny that he only crossed this line with someone who is perceived as a pushover,
weak.
Right, yeah, and I'm not saying he is, but if you push Biden though, he's dead though. But if you physically push Biden over, you think he's gonna survive?
Probably not, but I mean,
he also didn't invade under Obama. He didn't invade under Bush. He didn't invade under.
That's right. Well, I think
he's been in charge of Russia for like 30 years, right?
Yeah. I think he knew. I think he knew better. That's all.
Okay. So what is the next headline?
Yeah.
A con man tricked dozens of people into working for a fake design agency by telling them all they could work from home, and he made like fake LinkedIn profiles that all referenced one another. He created a whole work network of people.
But okay, so I read that headline, and I read some of the story, but I don't understand how he was making money. Were they doing real work for him that he was making money off of?
They were doing real work for him that he was skimming all the money off of, and then he wouldn't pay them.
Oh, didn't pay them nothing, right?
So he had dozens of people from all over the world that were working for him.
Wow.
And he was taking the money and, the checks in the mail type bullshit for them.
Interesting.
But they thought it was legit, so, they were making some pretty big deals for him.
That's like internet slavery.
Is he alive still?
He's still alive, yeah.
Long. Yeah, that's the kind of shit where, bruh, I'm telling y'all, so many people lucky I don't have the resources to be Batman, dog. Because I would get revenge on so many of these motherfuckers where it's like, you deserve to die for that. Because not only are you taking advantage of people during the pandemic, but what's happening is it's like a lot of these people they're looking for a job, and now they're not looking for a job because they think they have one.
Right.
And so not only is that next paycheck not coming, which is going to put them even further behind, but you might be able to squeeze an extra 2 weeks out of them with bullshit and lies and misdirection. So you now these people that already been out of work, that was looking for a job till they found your ad, now they're another month behind, still with no job, and they've done all this work for you, and you rich. And then all that's going to happen is you're going to go to prison, or maybe whatever country they caught him though.
They know who he is. He's probably, he might get arrested. He's in London.
So he might get arrested, or he might get a fucking Netflix documentary.
Or he might get a brick to the head.
Like the fucking Tinder Swindlers.
He need a brick to the head.
Yeah,
bro. He need to get the treatment, dog. He need to get the treatment.
He's a little bit of a kook. You can tell that he doesn't really understand exactly what he did wrong, or maybe that's motivated reasoning.
Bro,
he's like, does he like intend on paying him? Is he like, no, you don't understand it. The checks are in the mail.
Bro, I swear to God, I would sell all my possessions and pool all our funds and have that nigga kidnapped. I would have him kidnapped, and I will only feed him oatmeal laced with Viagra. So it's like, if you hungry, nigga, you got to be sitting around here with a hard dick in this cold room forever. Every time you take a bite of anything or a sip of anything, it's gonna have Viagra in it, and you're gonna sit around with a hard
as fuck. That's
just forever in a cold room.
Damn.
No lube. We gonna make sure you nice and ashy. So no lube, so you can't even. You're gonna be so thirsty you can't even spit and beat off.
Yeah, dehydrated.
Nah, dehydrated.
Yeah,
just hydrated enough to not die, like for your kidneys to still function.
Yeah.
But not enough when you go
spit
and beat your dick. No.
No.
You usually be sitting around with a hard dick in a concrete, cold room, Indian style. And anytime we catch you not sitting Indian style, somebody comes in and beats you in the knees.
Damn. Yeah.
Oh no. They whack your dick. They whack it.
They whack it. Yeah, that might feel good.
Yeah, and we'll do that until all those people find a job.
Damn. Yeah. Well, the punishment fits the crime.
Yep. And
what do you think about the Tinder swindler? It's sort of thing. Same thing.
I feel bad. I don't know. Obviously he's not a good person. But what he did wasn't illegal.
No, yeah, he's not
and the thing is, here's the thing: the documentary is trying to create sympathy for a certain type of hoe out here that we all should not have sympathy for.
No,
these women was trying to come up. They thought they was coming up on the bag,
except for one. I agree. Except for one,
because to me, it's like I forget the name of the con. But it's one of those. It's called like the violin player or some shit like that. But it's the con where like you and I go, like you and I go to a restaurant and buy a meal, right? And then we don't sit together though. And then it's my time to pay the bill, and I tell the guy behind the counter, hey, listen, I left my wallet in my car, but here's my prized possession. I'll be right back.
Right.
Don't even worry about it. Right? And so I leave to go get my wallet, and then you go to pay your bill, and you tell that guy that, like you just make up shit. Oh, yo, is that a Swiss Vivaldi or whatever? Yeah, well, can I see it? Dude, this is dope. I got somebody that'll pay $500,000 for this right now in California. And listen, you keep it here. I'll call my guy. I'll come back and see you tomorrow, and we'll split the money. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so then when I come back, either he's gonna offer to buy it from me for less than that. So he'll go, I'll give you $1,000 right now for this. Really? It's just my granddad's violin? You sure you're gonna pay $1,000 for it? It ain't even shit. Like, no, trust me, I got it. Either he'll try to swindle me or he won't. Like he'll tell me no one is. He's gonna try to swindle me. And
that's the whole thing though. If he's an honest person, he's like, yo man, this is actually worth
exactly. But if he's a dishonest person, then I don't feel bad about ripping him off because he was trying to rip me off.
Right.
Even though he's definitely getting ripped off. He's gonna pay me something for this useless $100 violin. He's gonna give me thousands of dollars, but it's only because he was trying to steal money from me. So I don't feel bad for him. So it's like my thing is, the Tinder swindler victims are just people that would have conned him if he wasn't already conning them.
So here's the thing. I kind of agree with you, but the only thing is con. I think the word con might be strong, but they were definitely like under the illusion that they're pussy.
The word con is accurate.
He conned them.
You know what
but
con is short for?
What?
Confidence. It's a confidence scam.
So here's the thing. The woman, so like it's like they thought that they just lucked up. Like her, she these bitches thought that they met a billionaire and their pussy was worth $1 billion.
Right.
In their mind, and that's where they went wrong. It's like, come on, man. I mean, you also, it's like it's the myth that there's somebody out there, and like, oh my God, I'm in a relationship with this guy and he's a billionaire's son, and so it was he played on their fantasy world that they created. But here's the thing though, by the time they got to, tell me what you think, by the time they got to $30,000, because he started buying them, he started asking them for money at a certain point after he spent a bunch of money. But it's like, I agree with you, the sympathy they're trying to push for these women. Who the fuck, after $30,000, if I'm giving you, I don't care who you are, it's like, yo, you gonna have to, something ain't right? Something ain't right. There's no sympathy for being dumb. You're just dumb. They got conned, but I don't know if they were trying to con. It's like if a bitch knows that you're like on, and she comes and she tries to fuck her way into your life. Is she trying to con you, or is she just trying to like come up? because she's not going. Let's say, like, she's not going to take your money and run. She wants to be in your life.
So you're saying is it I'm here to get the bag,
right?
Or is it I'm really in love with you because you're rich?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, but that don't matter either way, because one of them means you're stupid and one of them means you're sneaky.
Yeah.
So either way, I don't feel sorry for you. It's like
there's no. Yeah.
It's like, and don't get me wrong. I know love is blind. And especially for women, you know,
for white women
of a certain age, there's a I don't want to say desperation, but there is a feeling of like time is running out, and so and then women are also like inundated with this, you know, from childhood of the magical meeting and all that.
I blame Disney, man.
So it's
Disney.
So it's like right when you think my time's running out, my eggs are running out.
Yeah,
nobody's gonna marry me, and then
a billionaire,
Prince Charming billionaire comes. It's the perfect. Like it's like I do have sympathy to some degree for that, because
a little bit,
because when something is exactly what you want, it's really easy to convince yourself that it's destiny or fate. Right. Or meant to be, or any of that.
I would fall for it but up to $30,000 is, I think, my line. Where I'd go start asking questions.
Bro, you wouldn't get a motherfucking dollar out of me.
Of course, no, right.
I'm like, nigga, first of all, how long you been a billionaire?
Yeah. Ask your family.
It ain't no.
These women.
Yeah, how you a billionaire and and you just met me and I'm the only motherfucker you can call.
You got no friends. You don't got like hit up. Come on, man.
There ain't a billionaire on the planet that could lose their wallet and not still be alright. And they still got a cell phone.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me Jeff Bezos lose his wallet?
Yeah.
He gotta walk up to a bitch he just met and go, I need your help. No.
I need your help.
He makes one phone call and goes, get it done. You know what I mean? It's
these
like,
women are
no billionaire need no money from you.
I mean, this one bitch, she took out like 9 loans.
A loan?
9.
How you gonna take out a loan to loan another motherfucker money?
A billionaire.
You gonna take out a loan to give out a loan?
And so we're supposed to have sympathy for that?
Nah, I don't. I mean, now I will say this. I know I seem very heartless right now, but I have not watched the documentary. I've seen the little clips and books, and I've got the gist of it from my friends and media.
It's crazy.
But I'm just like, I think I have a grasp of the story.
You know what's going on.
He pretended to be a billionaire. He made these women fall in love with him. They gave him money that they didn't have to give, and then he moved on to the next one.
It was super elaborate.
Where does it cross the line into illegal? Because if that's a lie, isn't that illegal?
Well, no, it's just a good lie. Parts of it is just a really good lie. But I think, well, here's a crazy part is that, like, I don't know if he did anything that's legally.
Because people do that. People do that to old folks. Like they'll see them in the old folk list by themselves, and they'll be like, you know, they'll call them and be like, I'm your grandson, Jeremy. Like, I need $100. You know what I mean? But that's illegal.
Yeah. He illegally like forged.
Well, he wasn't pretending to be someone else.
He was pretending to be a billionaire's son he wasn't it. But
I mean, he did get arrested though.
Yeah, but he's fine.
For what?
He's fine.
What did they charge him with?
I don't know what he got charged with, but it was like Israeli police got him.
Arrested him because they were just hating.
Yeah, he was in Israel.
They were just hating on him.
Let me see. What did the Tinder swindler get charged with?
For being a genius.
Armed robbery. According to Fox 2 Detroit, man dubbed the Tinder swindler charged with armed robbery.
Oh, it wasn't even for the fucking. I was like, yeah, well that'll do it. Armed robbery. Okay, so yeah, but I don't think he did anything.
He in charge for what he did to them. Oh, he's from Detroit. Well, get
the fuck out of here.
It says Detroit.
This is why you're defending him, Trey.
I didn't even know that.
Oh, no, you know what? Maybe
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it says Detroit Tinder swindler arrested on charges of armed robbery. Well, that makes it all make sense.
Yeah,
I don't know if it makes sense. This article was from yesterday. Man dubbed the Tinder swindler charged with armed robbery. Well, this is a. No.
That's a different. That's a.
This is Marcus Edwards. This isn't that guy.
Yeah,
I was about to say, man.
That's the straight to DVD sequel to the Tinder.
Right.
No.
Because this guy's from Israel. Or something.
Yeah, this guy's from Israel. Well, he pretended to be the son of Russian-Israeli diamond mogul Leviev.
Diamond. Man.
Says he would trick women into lending him money that he never repaid.
And he did give these bitches a night out. Like, if you watch the documentary, because you'll see the only reason that I think I would even believe them up to a certain point is if a nigga took me out and we went to the most expensive places and he was paying for everything. He was paying, but it was more or less, he was using someone else's money. So he was using one bitch's money to impress another bitch.
Like a Ponzi scheme.
And it was great. It was brilliant. And I wish he had just kept it at that. because then he got out of control. It got too crazy. Greed always is what brings these people down.
Theft, forgery, and fraud for cashing stolen checks is what he eventually got pinched for.
Sense. Yeah, but now he's out and he's back at it again.
So they're saying, why isn't he in jail? Now, this is straight from Netflix.com, who has a podcast about it. And the big question everyone asks is, why is he in jail? And it says, the answer they give doesn't really answer the question to me. It says the simple answer is that Leviev's crimes are too vast and too complicated to legally pin down for prosecution.
No, bullshit.
Yeah, that sounds like bullshit.
Man, he's slippery. Well, no, but why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't they just do it?
So it says, I don't think anybody suggests that what he did was in a moral gray area or even necessarily in a legal gray area. London barrister and international criminal law expert Ben Keith says. But it is just very difficult to gather enough evidence against someone who has allegedly committed so many crimes across various jurisdictions by spreading the supposed malfeasance across multiple countries. Also, here's the thing too, if they were to charge him everywhere for everything he did, a lot of the women would also be implicit in those crimes.
Yeah.
They would.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it would be hard to punish just him and not the women too.
Well, they deserve a little. I guess they got enough punishment. The punishment is like a lot of them are still in debt, and like the.
What I'd like to know is, how did they all find each other? How did they collaborate?
Well, you got to watch the.
They go into that in the documentary.
Yeah. But one girl.
This was like the Don't Fuck with Cats of white
it's the same production company did Don't Fuck with Cats.
That makes sense. Absolutely, yeah. It was fucking. It was brilliant, and the guy, I mean, it's a brilliant con. I think he just took it a little too far, But like, he was also crazy. This guy,
he was nuts.
Oh my god, yeah, he started to believe his own shit and had like a temper. I was hoping he would be more cool about it.
This is exactly how Kanye West behaves.
Well, here's the thing: Kanye is not just a genius, but he's also got like talent. So it's like, if this guy. Maybe if he puts out like a dope mixtape, then maybe he shouldn't go to jail. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, he has a talent agent now. He's on Cameo. You can get a cameo from him for $200.
But see, that's just him being famous.
See, but did Netflix pay him too? They had to.
I don't know.
Probably not. If they
I don't
did,
think so.
I think you have to pay him to profit from his likeness and stuff.
Also, wait, did you see?
No, because he's in the documentary, but he's not like.
He declined to be in it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He said that he called it all like fake news. He pulled a Trump. He was like,
it's fake. This is a fraud. These hoes
are lying.
That's what he said. These hoes just love me.
It's a witch hunt, man.
They gave me money because they love me.
Did you watch the Yeezus?
No.
Oh no, what is it?
Genius.
Genius. Yeah.
Genius. I didn't watch that yet.
Man.
Yeah.
About Kanye's.
I'm not a fan of people making documentaries about themselves.
Well, that's normally I would agree with you, but this is more of a. It's so interesting to watch these intimate moments over the course of. It's impressive. The like span of like 30 years.
I'll watch it when he's dead.
Yeah. I'm sure there's another one. They got so much footage. I'm sure that
I think Kanye West has enough attention. He don't need no attention from me.
Well, it's just a matter of. It's just crazy inspiring, man. That whole story, and it's like obviously, he's crazy, but to watch young Kanye really create something out of nothing, it's inspiring for, I think it's just everybody that has like a dream that wants to go for it, and he's gonna be the next president.
It's gonna misguide a lot of these young people into thinking that they have a realistic shot when they don't.
It is, but but isn't that kind of the thing? It's like we all start doing this thinking that like we're gonna make it, right? Like you didn't start doing it with the thought that this might not work out, right? When you started, were you like, one day I'm gonna be the fucking?
I mean, I went back and forth.
Okay, yeah,
yeah. But I believe that was good. Yeah,
and that takes a little bit of that. And Kanye expressed that when he really had no reason to.
But it's like, but so let me ask you this: would you advise a loved one to go into comedy?
No, I wouldn't advise anybody to do it. But it also, if it was meant for you, you're gonna do it.
I don't believe in fate and all that.
No, I think if you want it, so people actually advised me against comedy. Not only did no one advise me to do it, but we still did it, and that's what I'm saying. If it's in you to do it, it takes a certain amount of maybe ego and kind of naivete.
I think where I made peace with it was I told myself, once I realized that there's a lot of bullshit and a lot of it is luck.
Yeah,
because that's the thing. once you make it, it's easy to attribute that to whatever you want, right?
Yeah,
and because no one ever says they're lucky. They all people. You know, especially in America, people's favorite thing is to go, well, I just outwork these niggas. You know, it's like all of us are working hard.
Yeah,
I'm not the hardest working.
Right.
It's like there's always, so it's easy for you if you ask someone that made it what the secret is, they'll say whatever trait about themselves they want to promote or they want to downplay. You know, it's like it's so.
Well, but you're not. You are kind of hardworking though. I mean, I wouldn't say that you're lazy.
I'm not lazy, but the truth is, you have to get lucky.
No, luck plays a part.
You have to be in the right place at the right time. You got to know the right people. You got to have the right friends, and it all has to come together as something for you. And so my point is, no matter how hard you could be the hardest working nigga in music, show business, or whatever, and you might not get shit. You know? That's the reality of it.
I don't know if that.
Like you have just as much confidence as Kanye did.
Yeah,
and not make it.
I think luck. You're right. Luck plays a part in it, but I don't want to. I think what's more important is the determination, and maybe the vision, because these are two things that keep you going, even with the low parts. But you're like, man, I'm broke or whatever.
But there's plenty of people who just can't rap.
No, I know, but we're not talking about them. We're talking about.
There's plenty of people who aren't funny.
Here's the thing: is like you're not gonna. Somebody's gonna die. You know, you can't save every fish. But some of them
that's not
you
my
can.
point. My point is, there's plenty of people that can rap and are funny, but they ain't gonna ever make it.
So I'm not talking about the ones that aren't talented. I'm talking about the ones that are talented.
That's what I'm talking about.
In the work.
But the ones that are there's people that's talented is putting in the work that ain't gonna make it.
And you know why? It's because of their personality. It's not some mysterious thing where they aren't lucky enough. It's they were given chance after chance after chance, and either they're hard to work with, or people don't like them, or they you know what I mean. It comes down to, because this is why talent doesn't actually matter in this business, is because you can network your way. If you're just a cool guy and you're mediocre at stand up. Well, come on, let's go on the road, right?
Facts.
So here's the thing: is like, if you're talented and you work hard enough, I think those are really important combinations. But also the most important is the longevity. Don't quit. Determination. Because the thing is with you is like you didn't pop in your first year of comedy. You just kept going.
Yeah, but but there's people that are. I can name somebody right now that you can't even argue with.
Who?
That's a good guy. That's hilarious.
Okay.
That works harder than both of us.
Who?
Tony Baker. And I'm not.
It just hasn't happened yet.
His career isn't a failure or anything.
It just hasn't happened yet.
I know, but I mean, he's been in Hollywood long enough and put out a body of work that prolific enough where there's no good reason why he shouldn't be one of the biggest names in comedy.
And you're pointing at. And you bring a good point. I would only say is that we are just in the middle of his, like he just hasn't gotten but he will. My point is that all he has to do is keep going, right?
It's likely, but he may never.
No.
He may just be the old head that it was like, yo, he was always the funnier than all of us.
No.
Yo, you meet a bunch of...
There's so many old comedians that people are like, blown away, but the fact that they never quit, they work all the time.
They all have a story where it was like, oh man, I helped this guy. He came to audition and he fucked off the audition or something. You know what I mean? It's like this time they give you get a lot of chances. There's no real one chance.
You don't always get more. Well, sometimes you get.
You
more
don't
chances.
always get
and black people get less chances.
Right? We get even less chances.
We just now hitting the mark where black people get 2 chances.
We made it to 2.
Yeah, we up to 2 chances.
Great.
It's like you fucked up. Okay, you can go to rehab and you'll get another one, unless you Ron, and then they'll just let you have like 7 chances.
Yeah. Well, Ron is another one where it's like, yo, Ron is so funny. He's like on a Tony Baker level. Well, it might take him a minute to get what we all know, or it could happen tomorrow. But my point is that when you're that talented, just don't quit, and the numbers will.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I'm not at all suggesting that Tony Baker's never going to make.
Right.
Because that would be a ridiculous bet.
Right.
I would bet on Tony Baker.
Of course.
But my point is, I think what I'm trying to say is not. Because when you have that level of talent and you know it, it makes sense to persevere.
Yeah.
But how do you know if you know it? How do you know if you're right or if you're delusional? Because those same people move here.
Right.
There's people that think they as funny as Tony Baker. But there's people that think they as funny as Ron Taylor. Bro, I hear open micers all the time complaining. Oh, how come I'm not at the thing over there? It's like, okay, point at that lineup and tell me who you should replace.
Yeah.
Right? It's like one of those things where it's like, but at the same time, I don't get. It's funny to me. I don't get irritated about it like I used to because I'm like, oh, you know what? You have to have that you have to have that level of confidence or that level of assuredness, even if you're fucking out of your mind, because you don't know which one you are.
No,
am I the guy that am I confident because I'm really funny as fuck?
Or are you delusional?
Or am I fucking crazy? Am I really? Because you hear people look. There's a. If they announce a fucking America's Got Talent audition right now, there would be 10,000 people in the line, and there would be 20 of them with talent,
right?
And the rest of them would just be fucking stupid.
That's right. Yeah.
But it is like because if only people with talent were allowed to show up, it wouldn't be a line outside.
It wouldn't. No. Yeah.
Right. But
there's a bunch
it's
of
all the people that think they're talented that get to show up, and who's to say what's the difference?
What I think you're right. I think what I've noticed for the people who are not talented, there's a choice to be made for a lot of them. It's continue to be delusional and eventually not go anywhere, or it's realize that I'm not going to get anywhere on my pen or my jokes or whatever, or my talent, but let me get better at shaking hands and rubbing elbows.
Yeah, but you're talking about,
and then they go into networking.
You're talking about self-awareness.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that is one of the key qualities to because it's a gamble, man. It's a gamble. I'm 39, and most of my peers are younger than me, and so my fallback was before this. I already had a career before this that I gave up.
Oh, what was it?
I was a tech. I was a I forget what they would. I don't know what the term they would call it now, but at the time I was a facilities resource technician, which is just a fancy.
Ooh, fancy, yeah, that's fancy.
For a janitor in a tech place. You know, I was barely above a janitor. I didn't clean things, but I was a
manager.
I was a keeper of the stuff. You know,
you took care of IT shit.
Right, I took care of the IT stuff.
That's pretty.
But
cool.
I wasn't an IT person, if that makes sense.
Right,
but you were doing that. And then
I was doing that,
right.
and
that's a legit. I mean, that's a career. That's a blue collar job.
But it's a small community, especially because what I was doing, you had to have a clearance to do it where I was doing it, and that's an even smaller community within that community. And if you walk away from it for 10 years, you sure the fuck ain't getting back in there.
Right.
So
you left that to do.
It's like, what do you do? I can't start over and all of that. So it's like, but I made up my mind in the beginning where I was like, okay, whether I'm really talented or I'm one of these delusional motherfuckers, this is what I'm doing.
When was that for you? When did you this is what I'm doing and I'm going to do comedy?
I was absolutely sure 100%
right
after I met D.L. Hughley.
When was that?
I think that was 2013.
2013, and you met him at a show?
I met him at the Madhouse. He was headlining the Madhouse.
And you featured for him?
I did a guest spot.
Okay.
I think his feature was Steve Wilson.
Oh, he's got his own feature. Yes.
Yeah, he had an opener. I forget his name, but he was from Philly. But anyway, I did a guestie, and he after the show he was like, "You got it, man. I heard that joke.
Dope,
he didn't hear my joke, but he heard about it from Steve, who's also funny as shit. And he was like, I heard about your joke about the thing. He's like, you got it, man. Just be kind on your way up.
That's great advice, because that's what I believe is if you're a bad person but you're talented, that's the only thing that will stop a talented person.
Yeah, and it was and it stuck with me, because it was like some people would take that and go, well, that was shitty advice. He didn't give you any comedy advice. But his advice was, this is the only advice you need.
That's perfect.
Is try to be kind, and he didn't say be nice. He said he said be kind.
Be kind, which is different.
That's different. Being nice is what you're taking advantage of. Kindness and niceness ain't the same shit. But that's intermediate level. But on the basic level, it's like being kind. To me, he was saying, you don't need me to tell you how to do comedy.
You got it.
You got that.
Just don't fuck it up.
This Hollywood shit,
be
kind to people and stay determined. All that was just built into it.
That's perfect.
It's like everything I'm not saying is things I think you don't need to hear. But you need to hear this.
And how long had you been doing comedy at that point?
In 2013, it would have been 2 years.
See, yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, so
did you get that early on from
and I was like, that if I can you know, and that's when I was like, no matter what it costs me, I'm not stopping. So I made peace then with like, I'm going all the way, and if it don't work, then I'm making peace with that right now.
That's it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So I never came into with no delusions of, and don't get me wrong, I thought about walking away all the time and you know, begging for a job somewhere else or something like that. And they even called me. They even called me one time.
Who?
So the job initially I was working at the Pentagon, and someone got fired or died or whatever, I don't know who, and they called me in like 2014 or early 2015 and was like, where it's like, well, we need a last minute replacement. Is your clearance still good? And I was like, I don't know. And they looked and they were like, well, we'll look it up and call you back. And they never called me back. But I mean, bruh, I don't know what I would have done because I was strapped for cash. I was hurting. Yeah, I was hurting so bad. And I was literally, by the end of that year, I was homeless.
Wow.
And they never called me back. And thank God, because it was good ass money.
You would have just done it. And then
when I stopped doing it in 2009, I was making $27 an hour. After only doing it for like a year and a half.
Yeah,
so I can't even imagine and I was like the reason I got laid off is because I was the last one that got hired. I was the most junior person.
Oh.
I can't even imagine what the starting pay is now. Probably like $32, $35.
That's how they keep you in that kind of job.
Yeah, and and the hours were great. It was a great job. It wasn't a bad job. Man. It was just I didn't feel like I had a purpose.
But this gave you purpose.
Yeah, comedy makes me feel like I'm doing something that means something, even though it doesn't mean the world, but it means something. It means
something to I think a lot of people.
It means more. You know what it is? What it really is that I remember because at this place it was like everybody had a degree or clearance and 15 years experience and all these things that required. And in reality, I could have taught like a teenager how to do what I was doing.
Right.
And so it was like, it's one of those, because it's the same reason I was miserable being a door guy. Because it's like, yo, you can replace me with a nice sign. You just invested in a sign.
It was,
Yeah, I used to beg to my house, yo, can we buy a sign to put right here so I don't have to tell people this? And they're like, no.
He was busy buying TVs.
So it's like,
shout out to the Madhouse.
I don't want to do a job that just anybody can do. Yeah. I want to do a job that only I can do. And I'm not saying only I can do comedy, but I'm saying only I can do my comedy.
In the way that you can do it.
Everything I contribute to comedy is stuff that only I can say. At least that's generally.
Yeah.
So it makes me feel like my purpose every day is to think of something. Mm-hmm. Whereas my purpose every day was just to do what I was told. So just follow the pattern. If this light turns on, then go do that. If that light turns on, then call this number. If this is off, then do that.
And that's good for some people.
It was none of me in the job.
Work. Right.
It's like
but a lot of people can turn their brain off and just do busy work.
Oh yeah, and cash some checks. Some checks was nice.
Yeah.
Checks was nice. So I did work 40 hours, but it was I would work 12 hours so I would work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 12 hours. And then every other Wednesday, 8 hours. So it would be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then I would have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday off.
Yeah.
And then the next week would be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 2/3 of a day, Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday off.
Right.
And the thing is, on my 12s, I would come in at 7 when everybody else came in at 7, but all my bosses worked 8-hour shifts because they worked every day. So I would come in at 7, and then 8 hours later, they would all leave, and I would work the last 4 hours about just me. So it was like it was the sweetest gig.
But then, what made you were working that gig, and then you did like randomly you did an open mic, or how did?
No. That was in Virginia. I was working that gig, and then Lockheed renegotiated their contract.
Right.
And it was obviously at a cheaper price. So every department had to let go of one person. I was the newest person, and they let me go. And they gave me a nice little severance.
Right.
So I was like, I'm out. I moved back to California.
Oh, that's when you went to San Diego.
That's when I went back to San Diego.
Okay, got it. And then you started working at the Madhouse, or how did that happen?
I remember that so Robert Leviev, so he used to
TV King.
Yeah, he used to run the comedy at the Palace, the Comedy Palace.
Oh, really?
It's not there no more. It's the mic drop now, but
yeah.
But
San Diego, man.
So I was doing one of those bucket shows there. I was maybe like 6 months in. I was doing one of those bucket shows over there, and I heard that he was opening a club.
Oh, he hadn't even opened it.
He hadn't opened it yet. And I was like, hey, so I'm black and I'm a veteran. That's 2 of your affirmative joints right there. and I made him laugh, and he was like, all right. And then when the Madhouse finally opened, I missed the first like 3 days, and I showed up on one of the days, and he was like, you still want to work here? And I was like, yeah. And he fucking slapped down a W-2, and I was like, here we go.
That's it. Yeah, you start working the door.
I start doing everything.
And then he's putting you up every weekend, or at least guest spots?
Well, at first it started out with me just, working, and then I started slowly, like, I remember, like, whoever was hosting the mic quit, and so I started doing that.
Yeah.
And then I would get an opening spot every now and then for the weekend, and then one day, so I think maybe 6 months into working there, Eric knows, the homie, shout out Eric. Because Eric was the man, but he was also the bartender.
Oh,
so,
I didn't know that.
So and he had just had a baby or whatever, so he would get all the feature spots.
Right.
And then one day I was like, man, I just want to see if I can. You know what I mean? Because I think I can.
Yeah.
And he was like, you can. You know what I mean? And he asked Robert, and Robert was like, nah, it's too soon. You know what I mean? And
Robert, man.
Yeah. So then maybe like another month went by.
Yeah.
Because it's not just too soon, but it's like the politics of it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not that into, you know what I'm saying?
It's so
and so like maybe a month later, Eric was like, he did the first show, and then he was like, hey man, I'm gonna go home. And he was like, Robert, I ain't feeling good, man. I think I got the shits, and left.
Damn.
And he was like, I need you to feature. He was like, Brian's here, and left.
Yep.
And he was like, all right.
That's so funny, Robert. It's so he had to be forced to put you up.
It wasn't that, but it was like, because he was right. I wasn't ready.
Did you bomb?
I did not bomb. No, I didn't bomb. But I wasn't. But at the same time, it's like, no.
Nobody's ready.
I wasn't ready the first time I headlined.
Nobody's ready, exactly.
Right, but it's like, I think he just didn't want to crush my confidence because I was very fragile. So he was like, he ain't ready. Because Robert always knew, he thought I was funny.
Yeah.
But he just was like, it's too soon. Because if I bombed, then what?
Right, well.
But it's like, but I was still funny.
Yeah,
I didn't get off the stage like fuck though, because after that I featured all the time.
Yeah, he just had you back. Yeah, you were in it. Yeah,
and I was already 2 years in the. I was only like almost 2 years in the comedy.
Yeah, damn.
And then 3 months later, met DL.
Yeah, and then he gave you the bump.
Yeah, I mean, he just was like, you get it. But I met a whole bunch of people along the way that gave me little confidence boosts and stuff. Ralph Harris.
Right.
Goddamn Dave Attell.
Yeah. I think that's something that going back to when you said, how do you know if you're delusional or not? One of the ways that I try to ground myself is through validation of your peers and people who are above you. Anytime they give you like a, hey, they wouldn't, most people wouldn't say that, right? Out of just, unless they mean it, right? Like Mitzi had a great thing where she, don't encourage mediocre talent. And I think most comics don't really go out of their way to say something unless they really think you're funny and they know how much that means to a young comic. So that's a good way to ground yourself, make sure you're not the guy that's like completely delusional.
Yeah. Well, that's the lesson to take away from this, folks. If funny comics ain't telling you you're funny, then you're probably not as funny as you think you are.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, because here's the other thing when we talk about who's funny is I think some people conflate, because funny is like love. It's a word that means a whole bunch of different things, right? Like I'm sure, like in other languages, they probably got different words for different kinds of funny. Like, you know how like in Greek, there's like 8 words for love? Yeah. It's like, but we just say funny and it means a couple of things. And it's like, when I say somebody isn't funny, I don't mean they're not funny at all. I just mean, within this context, I just mean you aren't funny enough to where you should be doing this and nothing else. You're not professional funny. It's like if I say somebody can hoop. Right. It's like if we had the rec center and I was like, oh boy can hoop. Mm-hmm. That's not the same thing as me going, you need to be in the NBA. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's a whole different thing. And so some people they can get a laugh. And they're like, I'm technically funny. I'm funny. And I go, no, you're not. You're not funny enough to be like demanding that the Comedy Store put you on the lineup. Not
even a little bit. It's so funny, people who say that, and sometimes these people are women, but a lot of the time they're just not the most developed comics. and you'll see somebody arguing. Was oh, how come? I had actually a comic who she just happened to have a vagina. I don't want to assume her gender, but she was a vagina holding person, and she was complaining about not getting up at the Comedy Store, and she blamed it on being a woman. And it's easy, I think, for minorities to go to that, because there is some of that. There is racism, there is sexism, but to think that that's the only reason, it's like you said, point to the lineup. Who are you funnier than? You know what I mean? And a lot of the times, the answer will be no one. But I think that some people feel entitled because I'm like I got to the store and I recognize like that played a part in me too. It wasn't just because I was like some beast or something. I had potential, but they also had to fill a black guy spot. I replaced Willie Hunter, my big brother. He's like another skinny black guy, you know. And so he was on his way out. At the time, the talent coordinator saw me and was like, "Oh, I gotta, you know, a room for."
I can move these pieces around.
Exactly. Right, yeah. It was we canceled each other out pretty much, and but it played a part. So I don't mean that it doesn't always play a part, but when you're younger, and I never had that. I always was aware at mics that I just need to be better, whatever I want.
But again, that's also part of the. Are you delusional or are you right? Or are you, because even like I felt like I was overlooked, and it was Christina P that checked me, where it was like, I'm like, where are my shits? I'm funny,
right. Yeah,
this and that. But she's like, you only been here for this. You only been in Hollywood for a couple years. You're a paid regular at the Comedy Store. Just chill.
Just relax.
You fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was ready to leave. I was tired of this shit. Yeah. I was tired of being the funniest one in places and it not mattering.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
That was my attitude. So that's why I tell other people, it's like, bro, I'm funnier than you, and I still had to. It's not like I showed up at the Comedy Store and got past that day.
No.
You still had to wait. It's still politics. It's still people that get picked above you. That's not as funny as you and all of the other shit. It's like
it still happens.
There's no deserve up in here, dog. There's no deserve, and I'm getting a perspective now. Like I remember, because I've been doing this for 11 years now. But I remember after my special came out, which you can still check out right now on Netflix, season 3 of the stand-ups.
Yeah, very funny.
When my special right after the special came out, I remember one of the OGs was like, so you he was like, congrats on the special, man. I'm like, thank you. He was like, yeah, you got that shit quick. And I was like,
got it quick.
Yeah, it took me aback, because I was like, I think I waited a long time, but it was like, oh no, I'm talking to somebody that's been in the game for double the time I've been in the game.
Right. Yeah.
And they're telling me, nah, you right on time. You got that shit right on time. You know what I mean? It's like you.
I wouldn't say quick, but maybe right on time.
Quicker than.
It could have been quicker.
Because
it could have been quicker.
Because you know how your age in comedy is how long you've been doing it, right? It's like you're a child. I'm a child in comedy, and then a lot of people like they start your age over from when you got here.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, especially in the Comedy Store, is even cockier, bro. I remember when I was a door guy, very briefly, 6 months I was a door guy.
You beat me by a couple months.
Yeah,
I was in 9.
I remember this guy walked up to the front, no ID. And he was like, I'm such and such. And I was like, I'm sorry, man. Like, you gotta have your ID here. He was like, I'm from out of town. I left my passport in the hotel. It's like fucking all the way up. I was like, I don't know what to tell you, man. You gotta have an ID. And he was like, well, let me talk to the manager. And I was like, okay. and the manager came over and he's like, look, I'm the biggest comedian in India. And he pulled up his Wikipedia. It was him. And he was like, I have more followers than Kevin Hart. And he pulled up his Twitter and he did.
Oh, wow.
And the manager was like, you need to go get your passport. You know what I'm saying? Like,
why didn't you just go get
I don't give a fuck who you are.
That's crazy, though. Well, that's just, I mean, I think that you can get, like, sued or something, right? You can't just let people on the premises.
No.
Yeah, but they're not going to, Dave Chappelle comes up, they're not, Dave, can I see your ID?
Right. It's like, because no one's, because here's the deal. Those inspectors, they're not trying to fuck you up. Like, they're not trying to sneaky. It's like, they'll literally send someone that's clearly underage,
right,
trying to get in. And if you serve them, then they'll bust you.
That's it, yeah.
But they're not trying to trick you.
That's pretty elaborate. I'm Indian. Like, that's a whole fake Instagram page that guy must have.
But it's like, it's like, the truth is, you only.
And they said no. Well, why didn't he just go back and get the fucking passport?
Because it was far. This hotel was hella far. But it's like, and his friends were there and got in. And
yeah, but he sounds rich. He sounds like he could pay for Uber Black to go get it.
He could pay somebody else to go get it.
Or maybe being the biggest comic in India don't pay that well.
Oh yeah, maybe they pay.
Maybe you just get like plumbing or whatever.
You get the real vaccines instead of the saline that they were giving those people.
Right.
They don't got,
So it's like, but that's when it hit me. It's like, oh, this motherfucker is really like, he is that dude where he from.
It just doesn't matter.
But it don't matter here. It don't matter at all. It's like there's a lot of comics like that where they get big in some other country. Canada's the most surprising one.
Canada? You mean when like comics come from
Canada? Because what's so funny is, for whatever reason, Netflix loves a random UK comedian. But Canada, they don't fuck with. When's the last time they gave a Canadian?
You know, I don't know.
Is John Mulaney Canadian?
No, he's not. But there's a lot of crypto Canadians. There's a lot of people who you don't know are Canadian.
No, but like, okay, take like Deborah DiGiovanni for example.
Sure.
She is huge in Canada.
Yeah.
Here they like. Why though? She's one of the funniest people. She's one of the funniest people in Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's one of the things where it's like, you know, talent is nice, but it doesn't always mean that you're gonna command what you deserve right when.
Well, she's also a woman.
She is a woman. Well, you're saying that, so
I think that
like women.
I'm not saying they don't like women, but I think a lot of times the way you're judged is off whether they think that they can market you.
Yes.
So is it that she's a woman, or is it just her look?
That she's a woman, but it's that she's an older woman.
So it's not just that she's a woman, right?
In the way that like the standard for women having to look young,
yes,
and be young is way higher than for us.
For men. So because she's a woman, her age plays.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay,
you're right.
Like for example,
name
like you can name several comedians that had their big break after 40 or near 40, myself included.
Right.
But I can't think of any women that happened for.
Besides Leslie, but she's a power.
Besides Leslie Jones,
she's a power.
But that still took. Yeah. Look how long that took.
I know.
And who had to back her?
Everyone.
For them to finally give her something.
Everybody. Yeah.
Right. And she's been talented. Right. And so that's a whole other thing. Now the only exception to me is if you're already a star before you get older, like Betty White.
Oh.
You know.
Right.
They'll let you be an older woman in Hollywood, but
you had to start young. Yeah. And they'll let you age.
Yeah, they'll let you age.
Yeah,
but
you
certain women,
yeah, but
for the most part.
But to me anyway, that's what it is. It's like that's why like only women do this to me. Where like when I go, somebody goes, like I'll go, I'm 30. You know, instead of sometimes I'll alternate between I'm a grown ass man and I'm 39 years old, and sometimes so I go I'm 39 years old, and my female friend will be like, don't fucking say that to them. You don't want to hear that.
Oh,
you know what I mean? I'm like that don't apply to me.
Well, according to some article you saw, you were 50 years old, right?
I was 50 years old.
50.
Someone said I was 50. Someone said I was 50.
What?
My roommate was like, was it my roommate? Yes, well, someone Googled my name and was like, it was you. It was like when you Google.
Oh yeah.
It was like
Google said it?
The number one question was if you Google is Brian Simpson, the next thing will say married.
Oh, interesting. You got some people out there.
And then the next thing is how old is Brian Simpson? And the answer's 50. It's 50 everywhere too.
Who did that? Somebody's cockblocking you.
Somebody.
It's because somebody got it wrong one place, and then that got put on Wikipedia or something.
Because what I found out is like there's these diet wikis out there that ain't Pedia. You know what I'm saying? There's other wikis.
Really?
Yeah, and one of the wikis it said I was 50.
That's so funny.
Even though it acknowledged that it was like he hasn't publicly disclosed his age, but he seems 50.
People were like, he's got the energy.
All right, I just Googled. How old is Brian Simpson comedian? You got to do Brian Simpson comedian,
right? Because this fucking jazz guy's gonna be my arch nemesis till I die.
Wow!
It says about 14 million results. And the top thing, you know how like Google does it, where it's like a line underneath it. So it's like this is the answer right here. Brian Simpson is a comedian in his age 50s.
You're in your 50s. That's so funny. He keeps getting older. I like that. Somebody's fucking with you.
And then some. If you look
wiki.ng.
You want a real laugh? Look up my net worth. Now I know that this is always bullshit.
The net worth.
I don't know where they getting these.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Well, hold on. Wait. Here we go. This is from GossipNextDoor.com.
Well, they're reliable.
Very reliable source. This says.
I get my news.
This says that Brian Simpson was reportedly born in 1980. Based on this, one could tell he turned 41 years old in 2021. Where are they getting this information
wait, so what's
from?
your net worth? What's his net worth?
I was born in 82. I'm 39. I'll be 40 this year.
Brian Simpson, comedian.
They just want you to be older, man. They trying to fucking.
Who reported that I was born in 1980?
Dude, it's just all the internet. They had no reason to fact check anything.
So what you're saying is sometimes things on the internet are wrong.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I think people just
shit, Brian, you're worth $211 million.
Is that what it says?
That's what it says.
Whoa, Brian, let me borrow some money, man.
$11 million?
Yo,
that
Brian.
was 300,000 when I looked.
Oh, this is a different Brian Simpson.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah. Damn, man, you doing pretty good, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm not doing anywhere near any of these numbers.
Fame ranker. Let's see if this is you, Brian Simpson.
Oh, but you did a good enough that fucking Richard Pryor came to see you the other night. I heard that. No, it was Chris Rock. He came.
Well, he can come to see me.
But I mean, he
me.
dapped you up, right? He was like, gave you props. That's dope, man.
Yeah. OG.
And
probably doesn't remember any of it.
I mean, I don't know. We remember comedians, right? I mean, I think Chris would at least remember you.
You know, this is how I work. I remember jokes.
Right.
And so sometimes I'll see a motherfucker and I'm like, I know this motherfucker somewhere.
Yeah, me too.
And then I won't know the details till I hear your act. And then I
need
go,
to
I was with you in Detroit in January.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. What happened?
What does it say?
I'm reading where they got this 50s. Oh man.
What does it say?
It says Brian Simpson age. Brian Simpson's age might be in his 50s. He has not mentioned his age and birthday yet. However, he has a mature look, so we assume him to be in his 50s.
Right, I look 50.
That is brutal. You don't even look like...
I know.
You look like you're in your 30s. I have more gray hair than you do.
That made me want to stop drinking.
No, there's somebody's fucking with you.
He seemed like an old head.
Brian Simpson, I like how they were, the description, it's not accurate. It's like, he seems in his 50s. We're just gonna let that ride.
As a tall Hispanic man, he looks like he's mid-50s.
It's like, how do you come up with that number? But here's the other thing too. Somebody could have just asked me.
Right.
I ain't out here.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I became aware of this because someone tweeted and tagged me in a tweet. How is BS comedian in his 50s? God damn, that man looked good for 50. And I was like, where the fuck you getting this from?
Well, you know what? You should go with it because you do look pretty good for 50.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with it. I'm not gonna
go
correct
with it, man.
Let's just do one more story.
Yeah. Do one more story. All right. You know who Lana Rhoades is?
Nope.
Who's that?
Porn star.
Oh, I don't.
You know who Lana Rhoades is?
Suspicious. No, I got different porn stars.
All right. Well, Lana Rhoades is a porn star. She had an NFT.
Of a pussy?
No. There was drawings of her in various outfits and things. She had a whole Discord with a whole bunch of simps who were buying this shit up and thinking it was going to be worth money. And she did a rug pull on them.
You know, there's a reason certain things are cliche, but I think there's a fool born every day.
Yeah.
It's true, man. It's like there's a fool out there for every con, man. It's just a matter of finding your fool, because you could sell any. There's some of the things people fall for. I find unbelievable. In fact, you know what? I think I have more sympathy for the Tinder Swindler victims than for these guys, because at least some of them may have felt genuine emotion for the guy, right? Regardless of whether or not that was motivated by greed.
It all was motivated by money,
but
it was 100%.
These guys,
the Tinder Swindler made them feel special, though. These guys were just simps on a Discord.
He made them feel special by taking them on fucking yachts.
Yeah, but
paying the most expensive.
But these dudes,
if he was broke and couldn't pay the check early on, would they have still been?
But dudes are way more desperate. Like, desperate dudes are way more desperate than desperate women. Because you don't hear stories of women buying dudes' farts in a jar and their bath water.
No. Men are way more. It's easier to
used
take
underwear.
Of men. Yeah. We need a documentary on that.
Bro, it's easy
the bitch that's selling her farts.
A man that hasn't been laid in a long time is the easiest target for this.
Easiest target. So it does balance itself out. It's like it's not just these dumb bitches, women, nice young women getting taken advantage of. It's also people who are like haven't had sex in a while, and so they'll just give you money. I mean, you know what I mean? The amount of money, my friend, she has an OnlyFans. The amount of money people pay just to see her feet. The fuck is that? I know that's like a fetish, but still, it's like...
And it ain't just OnlyFans. These girls, you know, I know a lot of girls that make money off pictures of their feet.
It's a good living.
Somebody told me the other day a dude paid her, I forget how much, but it was in the thousands of dollars to watch him beat off over Zoom and make fun of his dick.
That's America, man. Isn't that great?
I love it.
We live in the greatest country.
I love that. But see, here's the difference. I think most of those men understand... Because there's also what they call it, FinDom, financial domination.
Financial domination, yes.
So most of those men they're getting off on the fact that they're being taken advantage of. So they're aware, and after the fact they don't try to go, well, I was swindled.
No, that's what it was.
After the fact they go, this wasn't a scam. You were horny and you were fine with being taken advantage of, especially when it's money they don't really have. That's the whole FinDom thing. Is it's like, you know, I'm gonna help you pay your bills, baby, even if it means I'm gonna be living in my car. You know what I mean?
And that's
just so I can come.
That's
from the
such
thought
a
of it.
Crazy mentality.
I don't get it either. And maybe I'm misrepresenting the FinDom community. I don't even know if that's what you call it, but that's what I call it.
Well, you're definitely gonna get canceled if you
it's
said
FinDom.
anything.
Yeah.
It's FinDom.
Yeah.
They're coming for you.
Maybe there's a little more nuance.
No. I think
to it.
No, well, listen, they're good people.
There's nothing about broke that make me horny. In fact, I get less horny when I have less money.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I feel like I
should be making money.
Are you? Because I don't know, man. I just feel more attractive when I'm good financially.
Well, because you are more attractive.
I guess that's what it is. I guess that's what it is.
Yeah, women they know what's going on, and it's that confidence that makes you be able to slay pussy, man.
Well, we'll hang out. Let me check my balance. Oh, babe, I don't feel sexy. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel sexy.
I'm just not feeling top tier tonight.
Yeah, I got the overdraft fees.
Yeah. Man.
All right, you guys want to wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Let's do it.
This has been the latest. This has been the first, not the last, crossover episode of BS with Brian Simpson and the Tre Stewart Project.
That's right. Program. Oh, should we call it the Tre Stewart Project?
I think program is fine.
Okay, we can change.
They're both good.
Yeah. And project.
Well, you can always change it. I mean, it's not official.
Can you say both, and then we'll figure out which one?
Yeah, or you can just put project/program.
Yeah.
Undecided. I don't know.
Just edit it.
The untitled Tre
Schrodinger's Schrodinger's title.
Yeah. And what's your socials, Tre?
It's Tre Stewart, #1 TRESTEWART 1.
On Twitter and Instagram and TikTok?
That's my Instagram and Twitter. I'm not on Twitter, but it's comic Tre Stewart. I don't really tweet.
TikTok?
No, I don't have TikTok. I gotta get on TikTok. Man.
Any dates to plug?
Tonight, if you see this, if you go back in time, by the time you see this,
come to the Comedy Store.
Yeah, get in a time machine, come back to the 22nd, come to the Comedy Store.
So I'm going to be all over the place. Go to my Instagram. I'm BS Comedian on all socials except TikTok. And actually, I am BS Comedian on TikTok, but I got locked out of it and I never posted anything.
Wow. Don't fuck with TikTok.
I just can't. But anyway, I'm BS Comedian on all socials. Click on that link tree. Those you can buy tickets to my dates coming up, or you can go to briansimpsoncomedy.com and click on those links.
Trying to be doing that bullshit.
You know the vibes. See y'all next time.